All right, I'm ready to rip this movie a new asshole. We're into that section now. We're definitely 10 minutes in, so I can stop the Transformers bleeps. This movie is just the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I watched Serenity 2 weeks ago.
Serenity's so good. Serenity's so good.
I'm scared to see it. Everyone says how bad it
It's
is.
so funny.
I would willingly watch that movie again before I ever let this film enter my eyeballs.
To say that I didn't actually rewatch this before this podcast is kind of obvious, but I saw it in theaters. I have no regrets not watching it again. God damn it! I hate my ex for. That's one of the many reasons at this point. That and Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, we're gonna break up soon.
Was it?
No,
it
not
was,
even
it was.
close.
No,
I'm pretty sure it at least was, if not still is, on IMDb's bottom 100.
Good.
Yeah, and
Seth,
she got offended
Seth,
when it seemed like I didn't entirely enjoy it. Yeah, no, I was meant to get the hell out of that one.
Yeah.
So,
In your notes, you have a note that says, "I'm having a panic attack."
I'm about to have a panic attack.
I have never related to anything harder than that because at I think about an hour and 40 minutes, I knew how much of the movie was left, and I looked at the timer, and I was like, "They're just now getting to." That goddamn Last Crusade ripoff scene. They're just now getting there. And there's an hour left in this film. And I've never wanted to just leave more in my life. Like, I was having just the worst time. I was having the worst time watching this movie.
and how did this make all the money? I'm still very confused by that.
Because Transformers won and people loved it.
Yeah.
But word of mouth is a thing too, and
I mean,
reviews.
Kids,
Was it like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Something like that, yeah.
Kids, I watched this 4 times in theaters because I didn't know any better. It was just a lot of shit happening with cool robots and shit, and I didn't know any better.
How dare you?
You watched bad movies back when you were a kid. You know you did. You loved it.
Denial was very strong when you're 12 years old and seeing Mortal Kombat Annihilation on the big screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was also good as the first movie. 2 or 3 years later, God, what was I thinking?
Let me give you a breakdown of this film. Because this was really fun when we did it the other time for Terminator Salvation.
Oh, God.
This movie has 2 plot points, which are Optimus Prime dies, and then they bring him back to life. Like, if you had to put a skeleton in this film of what the plot is...
It would be Optimus Prime's skeleton.
Optimus Prime dies halfway through the movie, and then gets brought back to life in the last 10 minutes. Oh, yes.
It feels so much earlier.
I know. Because this movie, Act 1, starts about 45 minutes in. So this movie has an Act 0 and an Act -1.
So 45-minute prologue.
Yes.
And then -1.
-1.
Okay.
Yeah, because we start in China, as everything did. And Optimus Prime is John Wicking his way through other countries.
Good way of putting it.
And just fucking shit up a lot with the army. And they're having just a grand old time doing it. Why is this in the movie? What does this add to the plot? Nothing. That's the answer. It does nothing.
No, Seth, it's cool. That's why it's in the movie.
Then we skip to the end of Transformers 1 with Megan Fox showing up to Witwicky's house.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I blinked and Transformers just started occurring into his house.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it had something to do with a piece of the Allspark.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again,
I think it was Jesse who called that out, saying he really didn't wash his hoodie for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good question.
Because again, why is this happening in our movie? That's the end of the other movie.
Yeah.
Like we're getting the like they're kissing in the front yard as he goes off to college scene at the beginning of this movie. That's the end of the other one. Just that's why it's -1.
Oh. That makes, okay, I'm following now.
So now we get into Act 0, which is Sam goes to school for God knows how long of this movie.
Oh,
and nothing happens.
It's coming back to me now.
There's a transformer in his school, which isn't even a thing until the movie needs to start. which is at the end of the college scene when he gets kidnapped to have his brain touched.
Oh my God, that was a long time.
So now the movie's kicking off. Sam Witwicky has been kidnapped with his girlfriend and his college roommate who he hates.
And I also hate.
Yeah, because he's kind of the fucking worst. What I'm saying is I have 18 inches of meat. I'm Michael Bay. I know how to make jokes. I could punch. If this movie had a face, I would punch it. So the movie starts now, and we find out that Sam knows where MacGuffin is.
Just like the first movie.
Yep. And then they have to go find it to bring Optimus Prime back to life because he dies rescuing Sam at the beginning, halfway point of the movie. This movie's so fucking lopsided. I'm just now explaining the beginning, and we're halfway through the movie. So then Indiana Jones happens, but badly, for the next hour, and then the army shows up, and we have an extended action sequence that ends with Optimus Prime literally ripping the bad guy's heart out.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if this movie... I love Indiana Jones so much. It's my favorite movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie of all time. I could watch it every single day and not hate it.
Okay.
This movie, I think I hate it so much because it does so much to borrow from Indiana Jones. Like, literally...
What's that adventure feel?
The locations, the heart getting ripped out,
From executive producer Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, I'm just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the irony.
Oh,
written by Kurtzman.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yes. Tragic. Has he written anything good? No. I'm not even going to look. So there's no plot in this movie.
Wait, the Matrix. That was MacGuffin, right?
Also, they say
McClunky.
the Matrix like 3 times as if they're talking about the movie.
It's in the Wikipedia article, too. It's like, wait, did I click on the wrong one? No, it's Transformers 2.
The Matrix. And it's just like dust now, but it still works through
For
the
no
power
reason.
of friendship.
Oh, God damn it!
Oh yeah,
It's My Little Pony.
He earned it somehow, but like how? What he died?
Yeah,
That's how he did earn it.
yeah.
Right?
He talks to the producers of the film at some point when the Transformers come to him in a dead dream, and they're like, you served our primes well. We're bringing you back to life so the rest of the movie can finish. Oh, God damn it, I hate this movie. That's Transformers 2.
Goodbye.
Also, racist robots
Yes.
Yeah.
Who don't do anything.
that don't do anything.
No, they
Don't
don't.
do anything.
Also, robo-testicles.
Yeah.
Which are very important.
Yeah.
Vital to the plot.
You get it? Because their wrecking balls are hanging between where the legs would be. It's funny.
I'm
so they're
directly
like nuts.
The enemy scrotum.
This.
I remember being in the theater. It's like, should I laugh or groan or just leave?
You see,
I think
you
it
see
should be
things like
All 3.
parts like that are like the prequel memes for Transformers fans. So I've seen that. I've not been able to forget that. I've not been allowed to forget that.
No.
So much stupid shit in this movie, for no reason.
I think if beyond the egregious editing and
when you bust out with the word egregious, you know it's bad.
and the just embarrassment of wealth of scenes, the scenes are too goddamn long.
Yes.
For a movie that is edited like this, the scenes...
Yeah.
It's like watching the Hobbit films.
Yeah. And
Learn how to edit!
Nick, I think this is why you and I were almost having panic attacks. The editing gets you very excited. Like, this movie's made to get you, like, into it and excited.
Yeah.
But then the scenes are so long that I think your like, adrenaline just, like, stores up, and then your body's like, fight or flight! Fight or flight!
You feel trapped.
Yeah.
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 Trapped in this scene.
It's like, I feel like this should be over now, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like getting stuck on a roller coaster.
Because...
It's like Uncut Gems, but not on purpose.
Yeah! Because Uncut Gems lets you, like, come at the end.
Yeah.
That's that GIF that keeps popping up.
Right.
God damn it.
I love that.
Adam Sandler.
I love that. But this movie's like the ending of Antichrist, where you're coming blood.
Oh, no.
Because this is just it's so... And then it just ends. It just ends.
We need the stunt penis. Defoe's is too big.
This
No, don't get Fassbender. That's just the same thing.
This fucking movie has a 55-minute ending sequence.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You counted?
pretty much.
From
Yeah.
from the point where the army shows up to save them to the point where Optimus Prime saves them. That is 55 fucking minutes of this film.
That's not a climax. That's almost a feature film.
Yeah.
Like, what the
That's
fuck?
55
Michael
minutes of this
Bay.
movie, and then literally from the time that he kills the Fallen to the end of the film, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no come down from this.
God.
Yeah, from the time he yells, "Give me your face."
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
he
hero
gets-
of our film, Optimus
He's
Prime.
a fucking psychopath.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This
He's a madman.
this movie is the equivalent of doing coke and going on like a blind date and hooking up and then getting kicked out of the apartment.
This is probably made on coke,
Yep.
to be honest.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
almost positive.
Yeah, I tried to find that gif of Elmo just slamming his head into the pile of coke, but I couldn't find it.
This is like probably like the Blues Brothers. They had a coke budget.
That's where 20 million of that budget came
Easy.
from.
Oh, John Belushi, rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
I hate this movie. And
Fix it.
and it's got ancient alien shit, which like if you're gonna get me involved in something,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it.
It's like Shia LaBeouf couldn't
Yeah.
get away with that in the late 2000s.
Oh, I know.
The year before. Come on now. Fucking
My
Crystal
guy.
Skull.
My God.
Oh yeah.
Spielberg was obsessed with getting LaBeouf with aliens in some capacity. Like,
I-
hey, Bay,
I
did
see
you see that
something.
movie I did last year? Can you get him with aliens in this one too?
This is gonna work. I'm telling you.
Steve, what you doing?
Sure, man. We'll do anything you fucking want.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
Why do you have so much powdered milk here, Bay?
Powdered
Yeah, that's totally what it is. I love the powdered milk. It's great.
How else do you pull the all-nighters needed to make this CGI happen?
I mean, we've done this
Yeah.
Film Fest.
Okay, so I have more issues with this film.
Shoot.
Speaking of, can we fucking Me Too this movie? Because that needs to
Yeah.
happen. Just,
How that hasn't actually happened to Bay yet is beyond me.
I mean, same way it hasn't happened to Shane Black.
True. I mean, he sets his movies in the 70s.
Not the Predator.
That's true.
Not the Predator.
I've never in my life felt more assaulted by a film than the jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
Just this movie's just lazy. Just
yeah.
lazy and gross and just
Now, who do we blame for that? Do we blame Bay or Kurtzman? Or both?
Both.
There's
Both.
also
Always
another
both.
writer. There's also another writer that they brought on for this one. His name is Aaron Kruger, and he's done like other bad horror movies.
any relation to Freddy Krueger.
Got him.
He wishes.
Okay, Transformers 2.
Oh,
he
wrote 3 of these.
Oh
man.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
If it ain't broke, keep taking a hammer to it.
Okay.
Wait, that's not right.
At least we're not talking about The Last Night, which I have not watched because I know what the plot is. And
What plot?
I refuse.
yeah,
to
there
watch
you go. Now you're thinking with Transformers.
it. I refuse to watch that movie.
How this movie? Why this movie? What? This movie?
The answer is always Michael Bay. It always leads back to Michael Bay. He made a couple good movies, and then, a couple enjoyable movies, and then everybody was like, "Give him everything." It's the same thing that happened with M. Night.
Yeah.
They're like, "Give him everything," and then let him get too high on his own supply, and then nobody told him no, and then you saw what happened. You seen what happened with both of them.
Michael Bay is a flat circle.
Yes.
Michael Bay is a flat circle. I love it. I need to talk about one scene in particular, and then I'll get off my tirade here. Specifically, the scene where they meet Jetfire. I don't think I've ever seen a more disjointed thing in my life. And first of all, this scene starts off with a fucking ass in your face.
Yeah, it's great.
That's how this film feels about the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shooting Virginia in a way that makes it look like it's in L.A. How'd you do that? First of all,
I was confused about that. I was like, I've seen all of this. Like, this doesn't look right.
I've been to this location.
Exactly. This
It's
is
like
not
when-
what it looks like.
It's like when Aura was talking about whenever Michael Bay shoots scenes that are supposed to be in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like, where's that fucking filter? Yeah, that's the one. Like, that's not what it looks like. It's like, it's okay, or just come back.
It's orange when you go down to Mexico. Do you know?
and it's gray in Russia. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody told you, but Russia suffers the same problem. Vancouverism.
The air is colored in those places.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the scene starts off with an ass in your face, which is a perfect metaphor for how this scene is going to feel.
Yeah.
Because it ends with them transporting to Egypt.
Sure.
But the editing of this scene goes, Shia LaBeouf is looking up at non-existent green screen thing, talking to it, trying to get information. Non-existent green screen thing then leans over and makes a bubble around him and the humans and says something along the lines of, we're teleporting.
I remember now. I remember.
Then cut to Egypt, and all of the other Transformers are there with them.
Oh yeah.
Bumblebee and the two racist ones, and now he transported him and the humans, and maybe the little Tonka truck thing, maybe.
Yeah, he probably was there.
But then
Humping
everyone's in Egypt, and the scene, like, if the scene were to end before the teleportation, Shia LaBeouf's communicating with it. It's not. There's no like bracing. There's no like the actors in the scene don't know that they're about to be teleported, and so it looks like a dialogue scene ends.
Directing 101 right there.
What the fuck?
This is why you have to plan out your shit while you're on set.
Now,
And
There's
you don't need plan when you have cocaine.
but to add insult to injury, this is a 2-point plot movie with an expositional scene. And this is the expositional scene. This is where we're finding all the information out about what the fuck is happening.
2 hours
Look
in.
what it's doing to him.
Everything's falling apart right now. It's fine.
This movie
See, Seth,
hurt me.
If they talk too much, then you can't have more shit happen. And you need more shit to happen in a Michael Bay movie.
But they don't shut up.
All the grunting and sighing this movie is causing.
But it gets worse. Because the exposition of this scene is information that we already know. Because not only does this movie open in the past
I
with
look
the
for the fan edits for this movie.
it opens in the past with the Transformers with pre-Dawn Man.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie's already told us that this happened.
Right.
But then our conspiracy theorist character, I can't even remember his fucking name. He just before this scene says Transformers have been around before, like people. They were here before us.
Simmons, right?
Simmons.
Okay. Yeah.
right.
That's what all these symbols are. So then they're trying to find Jetfire to, I guess, translate the symbols. But that's not what he does. What he does is say, Transformers have been around since forever. And the movie's already told us that twice. And this is our disjointed fucking expositional scene that ends in a teleportation that nobody knew was going to happen. That involves characters that were not in this scene. This movie made money in theaters.
Yeah.
And like,
This is why we had 3 more mainline films.
and I have to work for a software company making dick. And Michael Bay gets to
I make even smaller dick. So
and Michael Bay gets to make this bullshit?
Yep.
That's what I say. You spent like that much money. You could have paid so many people student loans, but instead we got Transformers 2. We got an atrocity. Like, you could have paid. I could be debt free right now, and instead y'all spending all this money on bullshit.
There is no justice in this world, and that is the end of my rant. Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
Jesus.